All right. Now, so on this occasion, Saka Dawa occasions, again, Alexander, and so all of you, yes, wants to extend a very warm and happy Saka Dawa, which is one of the most important for us, yes. This important of in our life, in year, in months, so on. So today, a special sort of like talk because of the Saka Dawa, yes. So first of all, to make this talk meaningful, yes, make this talk more beneficial, the time that we're gonna spend little time out of these 24 hours, just very, very little time that we're gonna spend become very beneficial and meaningful. So that way we um, follow the Buddha advice and the meditations, yes, how Buddha meditated to make all the activities become meaningful and beneficial, yes. So please join the meditations, okay, short meditations, and then we will start the actual talk. So so you open eyes, close eyes, doesn't matter, whatever, yes, they're comfortable, that you feel, yes. So we all lived in this world as human beings in order to free ourselves from many difficulties, problems that we've been through. The permanent solution for that is to attain the state of Buddhahood. Therefore, we need to aim, we need to go to that destination of Buddhahood state. Aim the Buddhahood state. That's how the first Buddhist refuge to Buddha, started in a way that we want to take refuge, go refuge. And the ultimate refuge of going refuge to Buddha or taking refuge to Buddha is that we ourselves can become like Buddha. That is the ultimate refuge to Buddha. And for that, we need to use the Dharma. Without Dharma, without the Buddha's teachings, the guidelines, without the navigations, without the maps, we never can reach the state of Buddhahood or state of enlightenment. Therefore, refuge to Dharma. And then the third refuge, Sangha, who is already practicing or started the journey towards the Buddhahood state, who are on that path, that road. So we need their support because we are going to start same journey. So that way we take refuge to Sangha. So the refuge, koi saran gaman. In English, we call it refuge, but although the refuge understanding the term is a little different than the in Sanskrit saran gaman, in Tibetan kyap do, in Chinese koi. Because here the refuge means that somebody give us protection, or somebody somebody from the others, third party, from other factors, he or she, they help us. They give us protection, shelter. We are under his or her or their refuge. Yes, little understanding is different, is not somebody is giving us. Here is we ourselves is going, because here refuge shows action. We need to take action. Without our action, we never can get the true or ultimate refuge here. So the Buddhist refuge means action, not like others religion. Other religion is you pray, and then the God and the Allah, or from the other party, they will then give you happiness. They will then give you problems or whatever. But Buddhist refuge is you can get the happiness, you can overcome the suffering and the problems by using your own abilities and intelligence and the activities and actions. So the refuge understanding is a little different, yes. So however, in that regards, Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangam saranam gacchami. In that way, Buddhist refuge comes into this understanding. And now, out of these three, which one is the most important? We sometimes, if we do not use our intelligence and without analysis, we think Buddha, of course, Buddha. But actually, Buddha himself, Buddha herself, all the Buddha, male, female Buddhas, all who attain enlightened state, all mention, out of three refuge, the most important is Dharma. Second refuge, Dharma. That is the most important. That is like the medicine to cure the sicknesses. Buddha can help us, guide us, to instruct, to advise, to suggest, which in a way that what kind of problems, what kind of difficulties, or this kind of solution, that kind of solution are there to overcome from this and that problems and this and that sufferings. But whether we can truly overcome or not depends on our own action to engage into the path. Although the doctor prescribed the medicine for us, but although we know this medicine can help our headache or fever or whatever, but if we do not eat, we need to take effort to take the medicine. Similarly, all the past Buddhas, male, female Buddhas who accomplished or attained the state of enlightenment with one voice, the most important, which is the path that you need to engage, that you need to use. Yes. And now, which in order to follow the path, how the past Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, how they attain the state of enlightenment, we need to follow their way. Yes, because we are new to this journey towards enlightenment. So all the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, they emphasize on one phenomena, one particular sort of like practice, that is the enlightened attitude mind. Because the altruistic attitude of mind, the way we think, our intention, which is truly a source of our happiness and sufferings, peace or tame mind and untamed mind. As by product that so therefore our suffering, problems, happiness depends on whom? Inanimate object? No. Our suffering problems depends on others, beings who capacite, who possess sort of like possess the or naturally possess the feeling such as pain and pleasure. Who possess that kind of abilities? Yes. So our happiness, suffering depends on these kind of beings, such as our, especially like to whom we spend most of the time. Family, friends, human, animals, so on. Since this is the case, everyone wishes, wants happiness by product like we do. So how can we be happy if the same person, he or she, or some of the people, him, family members, friends, that we are living together, spending time together most of the time, if we wish happiness, if one or two of them are not happy, if our happiness based on their difficulties, their problems, related to their problems, their difficulties, their sufferings, then it is not possible as human beings, it's not possible to gain true happiness by product. This is now the true nature. So therefore, whenever we want to do something, whenever we wish happiness, at least we need to include those human beings, those people that you are living together as a family members, friends, or colleague, whatever. We need to think always we instead of I. Start from that. Then more and more we can extend. That way we can feel happiness, we can obtain happiness. Of course, that is now matters of how big society, community, family members, colleague that you are dealing with, that you are living with, that you are spending time with most of the time. And then our happiness also depends on that regards. Our suffering depends on that regards, that way. So we always think of we instead of I in the family members, when you're living with family, or when you're living with colleague, when you're living with friends, spending time with them. Always think of we. Everybody naturally appreciate, join, yes, and your happiness automatically joined by others beings, because the moment we activated our capacity of we instead of I, we as a three members of family or friends, we as a 5 members of family and friends, we as a 10 members of family or friends or colleague, 20, 30, 100,000, million, billion, so on, then we can extend, like Buddha extended from few to, yes, 100 and 1,000 and million and billions, so on. That's the same way now also. We wish to benefit, all our family, all our friends, all our country people, all our world, humanity and sentient beings, so on. For that regards, we want to now listen to Buddha's teaching, especially on this month. Yes, in this month. Why this month so important? Significance of Saka Dawa is related with the two very important factors. Buddha as world figure of the peace, peace, and Buddha as the teacher, Buddha is Guru, Buddha is our guidance, Buddha is our mother, Buddha is our friends, Buddha is whatever regards that we take Buddha, especially of course the historical Buddha Shakyamuni. And second thing is, this month also related with the circle of 28 motion of star. We have 28 motion of star, and there are 12 months, is 12 months. Every 12 months is connected with one of these 28 motion of star. Of course, they do not stay whole month. but they are not connected whole month. Some of these 21 of the 2 of these 3 of these 28 motion stars are only for a few hours. Some of them are for a day, some of them for a for a month, for a week, and so on. So in that way, in that regards, this month, what we know, Saka Dawa, we sort of like greetings. We greet each other, sort of like happy Saka Dawa. Yes, like happy Vesak Day. Last month we did happy Vesak Day, happy Vesak month. Similarly, now this month, happy Saka Dawa, happy Saka Buddha's days or Buddha Purnima and so on. But according to the different astrology in different countries, their cultures, and especially every 3 years, all, I think more or less all sort of like countries and their astrologies and culture, and based on their belief and their astrology, meet together as one Vesak month, one Vesak day, one Buddha Purnima. But other than that, because of the extra sort of like, according to the lunar eclipse, lunar sort of like, the most of the astrology based on the lunar sort of like solar system, yes. So therefore, some days plus, some days are missing according to that, and then the additional, and then so that's how the different sort of like dates occur. However, Vesak, especially according to the Theravada sort of like traditions, and according to the Buddha's time, the how to say, the astrology, yes, which is counted by 15 days as a month, 1 month, not 30 days as a month, 15 days as a month, So, however, in that regards, that earlier last month, Vesak day or Vesak month that we have celebrated, is similarly now the Himalayan region, yes, Tibet and all the Himalayan regions, now they focus on Saka Dawa, yes, focus on the Saka Dawa as a Buddha. In Buddha's life, there are 12 most important deeds or activities, yes, according to the, like in commonly, yes, all the common means common in the Buddhism, yes, everybody agrees the 12 actions or 12 deeds of the Buddhas. So out of these 12 deeds, 6 of them or 5 of them, or the most 3 important of them, occur in this month. So therefore, Saka Dawa is considered as very, very holy month, or very, very important month for the meditation practitioners, or Buddha's followers to attain the Buddhahood state. Now why? Now, according to this, especially the Tibetan astrology, the fourth month is called Saka Dawa. Okay, and it's also called a fruition season, fruition month, also, or resultant month. Yes, and because there are 28 motion of stars or lunar mansions, 28. Those people who have remember who have done Mahakala retreat last time, yes, or the teaching on Mahakala, the very detailed teaching, not the short teaching, very detailed Mahakala teaching. We gone through these 28 sort of like, how should you say, lunar mentions, not details teaching, but the basic, mainly the name, you know. So, however, these constellations through the moon passes, some of them last just as I told earlier, 1 day or 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and so on. But of course, this 1 month means 15 days, not 30 days. All right. Now here, 1 month is 15 days, not 30 days. So according to that, now there are 28, namely the first is Mintu, like in Sanskrit it's called Kritika. Yes, in English it's called Etathauri. Yes, Etathauri, and then followed by the second, the Narma. Sanskrit is called Rohini. Yes, and in English it's called Aldebaran. Yes, and followed by like that, you know, there are 28, you know, motion of stars and these constellations. Yes, so out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, go, and when it reach 14, yes, 13 is Sari or Sari, and the 14 is the Saka. In English, it's called Alpha Liboria, yeah, or Alta Libroi. Also, some Libori or Libroi. More commonly, Alpha Libroi. Yes. So this Alpha Libroi in English or in Tibetan is called Saka. Out of 28, these constellations, exactly this month, just started yesterday, the first day, when the moon is turning to these 28, the motion of stars, exactly from yesterday until the full moon is of this month. They meet these Saka, yes, this Saka and Alpha Libroi, that star, yes, that star. So in that way, that Saka, now the name of the one of the 28, the constellations, and the Dawa means month. Yes, Dawa means month. So that's how the how to say the name of this month, Saka Dawa, happy Saka Dawa. Yes, you know, name of this month, sort of like, how to say, a label as like that, because every month is labeled in such a way, indeed. Yes, according to the Tibetan astrology, yes, and others also. So in that, the Sakadawa, which denotes from the name of the Death Star, yes, Alpha Libroi, yes, Death Star, which prominent in the sky, yes, that month, which means from yesterday until the full moon, yes, that the 15, but as we call month, yes, and and just to make you clear, there are some ancient times when you get some sentence or punishment from the court, from the king. They say, or you get a you get a sort of sentence like imprisonment of like 1 year, but in 6 months you finish. Still these days, India and Nepal exist like that. If you do something like there are some people get punishment from the court. Okay, you have to stay one year in prison, but they will come out in 6 months, because as I said, they still follow in that way. They still follow 15 days as 1 month, but of course, according to the Georgian calendar, 30 days as a month. Yes, so make it clear, a little bit understanding like that. Day and night counted at 2 days, like that. And now the question is, why it is so important for the practitioners? Yes, for the practitioners, why is so important? Why the actions multiply 100,000, 10,000? There are some actions, sometimes the actions might multiply into 10,000. Sometimes actions might multiply into 100,000, millions, like that. But then why? This is big questions. Why? Why this month becomes so important for practice, for meditation, extra than other day, other time? So this is where, I mean, like everyone might think, that way, or this question can be asked, yes. But so this is very important to understand that these months we need to put more effort for Dharma practices. Why? Because of the one thing is that Buddha made clear sort of like, how to say, statement in the both Sutra and Tantra talking about why we should focus more on such and such time, you know. So Buddha talked about that in Sutra and Tantra, but in now first the Sutra Sutra name called the minor precept, okay, minor precept of the Vinaya, yes, and there Buddha talked about the actually there are actually four sort of like categories of these sort of like sutras, okay, these sort of like the categories of the sutras are based on this Vinaya. But out of these four, but now in one particularly Buddha mentioned about there are 59 volumes translated from Sanskrit, Pali to Tibetan, for Tibetan sort of like language, and there are 59 volumes. And so the Buddha, what Buddha said in there is those who are intelligent. Yes, Buddha said that those who are intelligent practitioners, intelligent human beings, intelligent practitioners, yes, he or she, yes, who just use their time for meditation or think of Buddha or think of enlightened beings, especially, yes, especially on the time such as enlightenment of the Buddha or enlightenment day or time of the enlightened beings, and enlightened and the birth of the enlightened beings, birth date or birth day of the enlightened beings, and also it talk about parinirvana, yes, parinirvana, yes, passing away from human world to others, sort of like living the human worlds, yes, parinirvana, and so on. All the important sort of like activities, important sort of like deeds. On these days, if those intelligent beings must use their time for recalling the enlightened beings, their activities, their deeds. If he or she does that way, then one will definitely attain the state of enlightenment. The Buddha mentioned in these, according to Sutra. Now, according to Tantra, actually in many Tantras, Buddha talk about that. Now, particularly one Tantra such as like Kala Chakra Tantras, yes. So Kala Chakra, according to Kala Chakra Tantras, yes, that Buddha Shakyamuni mentioned like that. Now here Buddha, we are referring to the historical Buddha, okay, historical Buddha Shakyamuni. We are referring to that Buddha, okay, not in general Buddha, yes. Buddha Shakyamuni in Kala Chakra Tantra mentioned that the enlightenment seeker, enlightenment, those who we want to attain state of enlightenment, yes, enlightenment seeker must stay in the samadhi or in tantric meditations, yes, development stage or dissolution stage or whatever that the two stages, yes, of the tantric meditations. On those days, especially on those days when the Vajradhara, Buddha Vajradhara, yes, according to the Tantra, Kala Chakra, Buddha Vajradhara, or according to the one of the five family Buddhas, two of the five family Buddhas, all the others, who attend this, the Vajradhara state, yes, their special day, yes, their special day, yes, their activity days, whatever activity they have performed, yes, on that day, if someone connects, if someone does remain in that kind of like meditative state, and then he or she definitely will attend the Vajradhara state. So both Sutra and Tantra, Buddha mentioned about that. Now, this is now the little source about that, why we need to practice on especially Saka Dawa or these kind of important days or months. But now we use, okay, this is, okay, Buddha said that. Okay, Buddha said this, Buddha said that. That's fine. But now we use now logic, reasoning and logic. That is far better than Buddha said. Yes, we agree that. Now we use our intelligence behind that. Oh, okay, Buddha said that, that's fine. But now, is it true or not? Now we think, we analyze. Now, so like what to use example, like let's say, okay, for logic and reasoning, I gave you an example, all right? So let's say we like one kind of food, our favorite food. And in your country, in our country, yes, wherever we are, the most famous restaurant, okay, the most famous restaurant in our country, the most famous chef, okay, and then the favorite dish, the food, whatever, yes, that is, okay, we look forward to eat that, yes, and we prepare for that, we get ready for that, yes. Oh, today we're gonna eat that, and then like then, okay, you're supposed to eat your breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever, yes. But okay, oh, now I feel hungry. Usually you eat dinner or at maybe 7 o'clock, but now today somehow because of the traffic jam and so on, 7:30 instead of 7 o'clock, 7:30 or 7:45 or even 8 o'clock. Now you feel very hungry, yes, and then you reach the restaurant, the favorite restaurant, the most famous restaurant, the chef, and the food that you get. Wow. I think in my whole life, this is the most yummy and most, delicious food that I ever get. Yes, that. So perfect timing that you get the food, so delicious, so beneficial. Yes, so lovely, beautiful, everything's fine and wonderful. Yes. Now, okay, another time, we went together to, I don't know, let's say, somewhere we are eating lunch, all right? We're eating lunch, okay? We have very, sort of like different kind of 10 or 12 kind of dishes on our table, okay? We eat one plate, second plate, third plate, fourth plate, okay, let's say 10 plates. Nobody can eat 10 maybe, but however, let's say the maximum that we can eat. Full, yeah, very full. And then, now we come out of that restaurant, and then someone say, let's go to that favorite, the most, most famous restaurant, and that chef, your favorite food, someone brought you. What happens? Same restaurant, the most famous chef, the most famous restaurant, the most yummy food that you always like. And that time, you wouldn't like it. See, the timing is very important, isn't it? Timing is very important. So in that regards, using our logic and reasoning, even the food is same sort of chef, same sort of the famous restaurant. But when we are hungry, yes, one time we really like it, enjoy it, very beneficial. Yes, it's so wow, like. But another time, no, we do not like it. It's suddenly, it becomes not very yummy and not very interesting. So that regards, we can also use our logic and reasoning that why important in Saka Dawa. Now, behind that, there's another sort of support why it is important. Again, another support is coming is that so according to the now the historical Buddha, yes, Shakyamuni, who came 2600 years before, or 26 centuries before, yes. And 6 of the Buddha's important, out of the 12, 6 of the Buddha's important activity or deeds occur in this month. So it's a period that in which also the what we talked just now, the star, right? Star of the Saka, yes. And when these star sort of like perfectly star and the planets are perfectly aligned in such a way that the external nature, such as tree, fruits, grass, all become green, you know, and the water are filled up, and you can see lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, you know, just a few months before, during that winter or somehow, you know, winter time, or that, you know, lack of this kind of like beautiness or beauties of the greenish and the trees and the fruits and the vegetables and everything, you know, different time that we didn't have just few months back. But now this time everything flourish, fruit, the, you know, the fruition. Therefore it's called fruition months, result wise. And then lots of animals also laid down their eggs also, yes. So that's why Buddha, before, you know, when Buddha came into this world, looked at which time is the most suitable, the best time to enter into mother womb, Buddha's mother womb, yes, conception. And Buddha didn't just come like that, right? So usually we think, there's one thing that we need to clear. When you think, oh, when was Buddha born? We say full moon day. Yes, Vesak or full moon day. Or some say full moon day of Saka Dawa, whatever it is. But indeed, Buddha was not born on full moon day. Physically, you know, like a birth was not taken on full moon day. Very important to understand. As we as a Buddhist, yes, at least we should know these kind of things, you know. Buddha, who is the founder of Buddhism, yes, although as we talked earlier, Buddhism is not a religion. It's more about humanism. It's more about science. It's more about arts of living, how we need to live in order to overcome suffering, in order to gain maximum happiness, permanent happiness, right? So therefore, it's not a religion. It's not based on the belief. Buddha emphasized on that you shouldn't believe blindly, yes? So use our intelligence, yes? Reason, logic. So same way, so Buddha was not born on the full moon day, but Buddha was, how do you say, Buddha, the conscious sort of like entering mother womb on full moon day. That's why many translated as Buddha was born on full moon day. You know, Buddha. So therefore, little sort of like, how do you say, misunderstanding is there. So just to clarify, so according to, you know, all the major sort of like Buddhist tradition, all agree Buddha was born on 7th of Sakadawa, 7th of Vesak month, 7th of Sakadawa, 7th of Vesak month. So 7th night when Buddha mother was sleeping, and that 8th morning, 7th night, Buddha mother dreamt white elephants, yes, transcending from the heaven or from the sky, and then enters into her womb. So that is 7th night when she was sleeping. 7 means that according to lunar calendar, not the Georgian date, yes. So 7th lunar, according to lunar calendar, 7th night when she was sleeping, and then the 8th morning she got this dream. So therefore Buddha was how do you say, no, sorry, no, that was the 15th, full moon day. I was talking about, see, there's the misunderstanding. Always birth, we talk about birth is only the physical birth as the child was born, okay, on that and that day. But actually the real birth, there's an explanation. The real birth is when he or she enter into mother womb, the consciousness or the mind, that sort of energy, yes, form of the consciousness, enter into mother womb. That is also called, that is also sort of like label or use term as a birth also, because you enter into mother womb. That is your first day of becoming or in this world. Yes, so that's why. So Buddha was born on 7th and entered mother womb on 15th. Okay, that is the number one out of this, in this Vesak month or Saka Dawa. What are the 6 important deeds or activities occur in this Vesak or Saka Dawa? 1, entering into mother womb. Yes, conceptions. Yes, 1. And then because of this star and everything, as we talked earlier, the out of the 28, the star motions, yes, Saka, and the planets are perfectly aligned such a way the external nature, such as tree, fruits, and all kind of like trees and the green, the grass and everything, you know, like you can see the green and, you know, and animals also, they lay down eggs and so on. So this is a special sort of like relation to that sort of like the motion of star and to the nature. And then because of this nature, also related to our body, we as human beings, our body also combination of the 5 elements. So outer external 5 elements, you know, energy, vibes also influence our human sort of like the body, or the mind, which is also combination of these 5 elements, especially not the mind as we talk about the Buddha nature. Yes, mind as we the scientists, what they use mind as brain. That is we are talking about. Yes. So and therefore all the 1,000 Buddha chosen this period, Saka Dawa or Vesak month, depending on the now calendar, but this special sort of month, all the 1,000 Buddha, they are going to attend. Now out of 1,000 Buddha, 4 Buddhas already attend in London State. Now the remaining 996 Buddhas will be attending the state of Buddhahood within these, in this month, in this Saka Dawa, special of this month. So therefore, the internal energy of human beings, or especially human beings and the beings, are all allowed to follow freely into an external world, thus creating an energy between, you know, the human and the cosmos. And therefore, all the 1,000 Buddhas also will be born, yes, enter into mother womb, will be born on this on the, how do you say, on the 7th of this month, Saka Dawa month, okay, and 2 activity of the Buddhas, and then followed by then now the Shakyamuni. We focus on the Buddha Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha, the 4th, yes, who came 2,600 more than 2,600 years ago, yes, and then 2, yes, mother entering into mother womb, 1, 2nd birth, yes, on the 7th. Entering is into mother womb is on full moon day. Birth 2nd on 2nd, the birth activity deeds is on 7th of the Saka Dawa. And now the third one is leaving the palace, yes, because Buddha was born as a prince, yes, leaving the palace, and ordination of becoming monk, be ordained, is also in this month. on full moon day. Yes, and a third activity, yes, out of 6. Then after that, then third, and then after that, then Buddha went for practicing or meditating. At age of 29, Buddha left the palace. Then 29 to 35, 6 years, yes, meditating and practicing, meditating, practicing, and like listening, teaching from the different teachers, and then meditating, practicing, until finally under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. Yes, then Buddha meditated, and then 14th night of this month, yes, and the 15th is full moon. So 14th night this month, before become Buddha, the Mara, the 4 Mara, is Mara of the defilement, conquered. Mara of the aggregates, conquered. Mara of the death, conquered. Mara of the greed, attachment, desire, conquered. So these 4 fully conquered, and then Saturday, no, not Saturday, full moon day, yes, full moon day, next morning, full moon day, attend state of Buddhahood, fully awakened state. So these 2, 14 night, conquering day, conquering time, the 4 Mara, 15 morning, full moon day morning, early morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, yes. Thorang means 3, 4, 5, until 6 is called Thorang, that 3 hours time, mainly, with the attend state of enlightenment. So now, entering mother womb, 1, birth, 2, leaving the palace and ordination or becoming monk, 3, 4, conquering the Maras, 5, attend the state of enlightenment, 5. And the 6 is parinirvana, Buddha passing away. So these 6, if you count one by one, these 6 occurred in this month, Saka Dawa, or yes, some others calendar Vesak. And so therefore, this month is very important. And then out of these 6, some consider, okay, entering mother womb is not so important. The 5 are more important. Or some consider leaving the palace, they don't count. Other 5, they count. Or some say, okay, out of these 6 is fine, but the most important is the most 3, birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana. Beginning of the Buddha's life start from the birth, in the middle of the life, enlightenment, end of life, parinirvana. These 3 now in very commonly, yes, every Buddhist traditions accept these 3. But if you analyze more deeper analysis will then tell you the 6 different deeds in this sort of special Sakadawa. Therefore, yes, so since historical Buddha and all the 1,000 Buddhas and historical Buddha, they all have chosen this particular time because of the nature is like that. As I said earlier, nature all sort of like the resultant month. Yes. So therefore, every Buddha is choosing this month, this special time. Yes. And so that way, the Saka Dawa, this month, holy month, or whatever we call it, especially it started from the Himalayan region, yes, and then Tibet, and Himalayan region, they consider it as the most holy month. And then from that first day to until 15, or these 15 days, whole sort of like this month, usually 15 days, they practice, they stay different kind of retreat, they do different kind of practices, especially one practice well known as Nyungne, yes, the fasting retreat is very, very emphasized on in these sort of like Himalayan regions, yes, in earlier time. And these days also still many sort of like monastery and Buddhist community, they also practice Nyungne fasting retreat, yes. So therefore, this Saka Dolma is one of the most auspicious month for the Buddhist followers, and especially the Himalayan regions practitioners. Yes, so festival is so 1 month long, like 15 days. Yeah, 1 to 15 days. This is which is called 1 month. Yes, day and night, and so so usually in this occur in May, June, depending on the Georgian calendars here and there. Yes, so now. Now talking about the Buddha birth that we already went through, Buddha's birth BC 563, or some say 623, but however, majority, Buddhist tradition agree that 563 BC till 483 BC, which is 80 years. Yes, Buddhas came into our world 563 years. Yes, BC, the time, the day that Buddha was born. Yes, and then the year 563 until the 483, which meant exactly 80 years. So now we, according to our practice, main topic of our this practice, which is journey towards enlightenment. Yes, journey towards enlightenment, that we are this meditation, these teaching sessions that we have been going through, journey towards enlightenment. So during this, especially lockdown, yes, many people requested for the online teachings, and therefore we made a teachings journey towards enlightenment, journey from samsara to in Buddhahood state. Yes. So you see, we as human beings, we have die-hard habit, and that brings false understanding the way things are, or the nature of all the things, nature of the phenomena. The die-hard habit that obscure everything, So therefore, Buddha's teaching, until Buddha became Buddha, until Buddha started to give teaching, every others sort of like practitioners, they believe differently than Buddha. Yes, their teaching different than Buddha's teachings. Yes, they believe that their happiness, suffering was given by God, given by Allah, given by some other factors. Yes, and then the things, how we perceive, how we see, how we follow everything on false conception, understanding according to Buddha's. Yes, so therefore that kind of die-hard sort of like habit and the understanding about what is our samsara, what is our feeling, what is this and what is that, and all the things. Not only this life, this was passed by generation to generation that we have been living. Yes, and so because of that, it becomes, I call, die-hard habit. It becomes very powerful, very not easy to change that kind of habit or that kind of understanding. So now, by listening Dhamma, Buddha's teaching, reasoning, logic, using logic, more kind of like scientific proof and so on, then slowly we tend to understand now, okay, this is that we should be doing that way. We shouldn't be doing this way, that way. We should be doing this and that way. We tend to understand slowly with the scientific proof, more about using our logic, using our reasoning, intelligence. That way, we understand, but still, when we act, we still act opposite to the real sort of reality, and so example that we know, let me give you example. We know all things are impermanent. We know that, but when we act, we act based on, these are permanent. We know, intellectually we know things are impermanent, you see, and intellectually we know this is the reality, that is not the reality. But when we really, when we really act, we still act differently. Yes, so Buddha's teaching now, supposed to open our third eyes. Third eyes means not the physical eyes. Third eyes means many people think third eyes means physical eyes. Physical eyes, nothing, not as a human beings, not physical eyes. Okay, as a physical human beings. So, but third eyes still we can obtain. How? Yeah, to see the reality, the real understanding based on the reality. Seeing means not from the eyes, but knowing the insight, that kind of wisdom. When we gain, this is called third eyes. So Buddha's teaching can open up these kind of wisdom eyes or third eyes. Yes. So when we go more deeper about the meditation and talk Buddha's teachings on the truth about our life. Yes. Related to the truth about our life, we still, I think it's very important to know that there are many different characteristics to know who we are, to know, oh, my sickness comes from this and that, to know these problems come from this and that. There are many different characteristics that we can, actually the Buddhas talk about, the characteristic or attributes, such as now characteristic of the let's say of the this time, let's say coronavirus. This is the topic that everybody talk about or think about or everywhere. So let's now focus on this example. Buddha what Buddha's talk about this coronavirus example, the characteristic that Buddha can explain, Buddha's teaching explain. The characteristic such as the coronavirus or the nature is dissatisfaction. Is that think about that? The dissatisfaction, impermanence, emptiness, and no self. Now think of that. This is really, really interesting. If you think in that way, the suffering of this coronavirus, the problems of this coronavirus. So this kind of four characteristic or four attributes, because it is the suffering, the problems, yes, but indeed, in fact, this is subject to change. This wouldn't last forever, not possible to last forever. Therefore, impermanence. And if we look through the meditation and do the analysis on that, it doesn't exist independently. Many cause and conditions together merely sort of like function, or we can sort of understand. But when these cause conditions do not meet, it doesn't exist independently. Emptiness is there. Interdependent origination. Another understanding is interdependent on many causes and things meet together. Yes, that way. And another understanding is no self. There's no self from this, how do you say, fundamentally from this sort of like virus itself. And then dissatisfaction or another nature is the problems. Similarly, same thing, another characteristic here is the what cause and the what conditions. Cause and conditions. Things and even do not come into being as a result of some sort of like some kind of pure thinking or design of intelligence mind. What Buddha said is, what came into result is causes themselves. That is now the very interesting Buddha gave us teaching. Things and events such as this coronavirus or problems, whatever, do not come into being as a result of some kind of like period thinking, oh, I want to come. Coronavirus is say, oh, I want to come in this world. Period thinking or design of intelligence mind. What makes come into result is causes themselves. So this is very important to understand, think, analyze. And then sometimes extra, they are not finished yet. Conditions that give rise to origination of these kind of things, these kind of like for viruses or this or whatever, yes, must be impermanent for sure. Everybody knows that. Everybody somehow, yes. Only we do not act like that, but we know intellectually, we understand, we know that. And if causes themselves are not impermanent, yes, then they wouldn't have any capacity to produce anything. See, now this makes more deeper understanding. Yes, and if causes themselves are not subject to change, how can they give rise to conditions that are also changing themselves? You see? So now more, if we really based on these Buddha's teaching, we use our intelligence, really there's something to think about. So causes themselves must not be permanent. How to say? That way we think, causes themselves must not be permanent, right? And then recurrence, sort of like this kind of like the damage development or the problems development or growth of suffering from the virus or these problems, unrelenting process of production of various form of difficulties of sufferings, indeed problems. Furthermore, there must be some relationship between the cause and effect. Not everything produces anything, you see. And then another attribute that we can add up and think about is the cessation of these characteristics or these attributes of the truth that can be seized, or that is the path, or that is the path that can seized the cessation. So that way, you see, if we look at these things, nature of the phenomenon, nature of everything, especially like coronavirus as an example, like that. So earlier we talked about the Buddha's, when Buddha gave the example, the first teaching, like profound, yes, profound, very profound. That's kind of law of causality. Everything doesn't exist like what they have been saying or what others have been saying before Buddha attained enlightenment. Oh, Buddha immediately realized, again, the realization is so profound. Everything doesn't exist by itself or independently. So now, Buddha again, the realization so profound. Yes, and it's very peaceful and tranquil. Through this way, one can attain that tranquil or peaceful state, and which is free from the conceptual thoughts, attributes. And that is the nature of the mind, which is the clear light. And now we talked about earlier the emptiness, which is so important to overcome all kind of problem suffering that we have been going through. So now, actually, now that wanted to share you a little bit about the teaching about the emptiness, more so that you can understand more and you can benefit more. Yes. So emptiness. Now to understand the emptiness deeply about this, that why emptiness is so important, because although we know what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, everything, but we still cannot overcome the die-hard habit. So only one solution, the emptiness. Antidote is the emptiness. That's why it's so important. Yes, so important, the practice of emptiness. So actually, usually Buddha gave this emptiness teaching after the Buddha attained the state of enlightenment. Buddha gave how many kind of teachings Buddha gave? We all say 84,000 teaching, 84,000 volumes of teachings. But 84,000 was not given as a formal way. Not all 84,000 teaching was given in a formal way. Sometimes here, sometimes there, in a question answer way, informal, formal way, wherever Buddha is, yes, that all kind of, that whatever Buddha speaks, everything collected, yes, everything collected, and then which becomes, that makes in a total of heaps of 84,000 volumes of Buddha's teachings. But formally Buddha gave teaching 3 times, right? The first time in Varanasi, the Four Noble Truth Eightfold Path, and the second, the Vajgir, and the third, the Vaishali. That is formally we know, yes. And then the Vajrayana at the same time of the Buddha, the one at the same time of the Buddha giving the Rashgir, teaching on the Rashgir. At the another manifestation in the Vajradhara form, Buddha gave the Vajrayana teachings or Tantra teachings, yes, like that. So that is formal way, yes. So now there are collection of Dharma, Buddha's, whatever Buddha's taught in the both formal and informal way, that makes the 84,000 different kind of the heaps of the collection of teachings, yes. So they are formed up, they are made up, 84,000, right? Particularly taught as antidotes for every sort of possibility of the afflictions. Someone or group of people, or someone or group of people, when they have these kind of difficulties, yes, then they asked these questions. What can we do to overcome these and that problems? Then Buddha gave one teaching in order to apply the antidote of these kind of afflictions, these kind of destructive emotions, yes, like that way, you know. Then that way, all these 84,000 volumes becomes antidotes of the afflictions, divided into three antidote of afflictions for the greed, extreme greed, antidote and extreme antidote of for the ignorance. So antidote for the hatred and anger, which then the last one, combination of these three, greed, desire, ignorance, hatred, anger, combination of these three together, then another teachings. So which made out of 21,000, 21,000, 21,000, 21,000, made out of 84,000 classes of teachings. 21,000 teachings based on antidote to apply how to overcome the hatred and anger, how to apply hatred and anger, that kind of antidote for 21,000 different kind of teachings, classes of teachings. 21,000 different kind of classes of teachings based on the ignorance, okay? Based on ignorance, how to overcome ignorance. 21,000 different kind of formal and informal both teachings. 21,000 teachings based on how to overcome the extreme greed, attachment, desire, yes, formal and informal way. And 21,000 teachings, combination of these three, how to overcome. So that's how the heaps of 84,000 Buddha's teachings form up together in that way. So, yes, so now, so out of them, now today, I think we have not much time left. And now, whereas Buddha's the based on the guidance and the beings and formally way, the three turning wheel of Dharma that we all know, three turning wheel of Dharma, three Dharma, three sermon of the Buddha's teachings, yes, that we all know, and then now I think we actually want to teach on the emptiness furthermore, but I think we can do next Thursday. Next Thursday, I think we do next Thursday. I mean the coming Thursday, yes. The coming Thursday will be probably yeah, I think it's possible because we are going to start Nyungne on Friday. From Nyungne Friday, we're going to start Nyungne. So until we finish Nyungne, we may not able to do the live the teachings on Zoom. So once we completed Nyungne, then we will continue. But of course, on Thursday we can do one before we start the Nyungne. We're going to start Nyungne on Friday. So so Thursday we will do one. So we will now talk more on the emptiness on Thursday. All right. Okay, so until next Thursday will be the last, and then we're going to start Nyungne, and then after Nyungne, then we will announce the next sessions. Okay, so take care, everybody. Have a very wonderful Saka Dawa practice. As you know now, why it's so important is the practice of multiplications. So do whatever practice you do. Important is you must do whatever. Doesn't matter whether it is whether it's recitation, whether it's doing very good, sort of generating the good sort of like mind intentions, whatever. Something that Buddha's based on the Buddha's teaching, something that you think the source of happiness, according to the, according to the Buddha's teachings, according to the reality. Now, let's not talk about Buddha's teaching, reality. Yes. So that way, one should really do in this month.